Hi Aquarius, this is Kay. You're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. Welcome back to the channel. And I hope you're doing well. Here's your reading. Let's find out what it is Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit wants you to know today, Aquarius. All right. Hope you're doing well and having a good day. Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit, thank you for enveloping all of us in your beautiful angelic wings of light, love, protection, and guidance. Please provide us with a major arcana message, energy. The Chariot. Okay, so it's time, it's moving forward time. Chariot. Moving. On the go. Moving forward. No more stagnation. Something has shifted and things are moving forward. Let's get some clarification for the Chariot card. Let's see, for Archangel, or for Aquarius, please, Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit. Clarification for the Chariot energy. That one right there. The Empress. Empress energy. Wow. Empress energy. So something has shifted you into a more evolved state of mind and feeling, psychological, psyche, right? Okay, something has shifted, and now you're ready to be in, well, you're in the mindset of someone who is more, you know, if you think about an involved mindset, got somebody who's being more fair-minded, more abundance and prosperous and loving and caring and nurturing, someone who wants to create a better life for yourself and for others. You are in the energy of being like, well, you know, you're respected and you respect others. Just have that balanced energy where, you know, if we're imbalanced, oftentimes we expect to be respected, but we don't offer respect to others. You know, that's just something. I'm not saying that that's what you were in or are in or anything like that. It's just an example of what aspect of energy in terms of expectations would look like when it's imbalanced. Okay, and when it's balanced, you not only respect others and others respect you. But in any case, you are in this Empress energy and it's getting you moving forward. Something shifted, put you in that balanced energy, and now you're really ready to go, and some clean up some, you know, to crack the whip on something, to get it moving, to shift it into the go position. We have the Knight of Wands here. So that is moving into an energy of wanting to get things moving with the being on a horse, right? The Knight of Wands. Being on the horse and all reared up and ready to move quite quickly. Pardon me, guys. Quite quickly. So maybe even a little bit hasty, impulsive. Maybe so. Let's see. We have a change in the wind. Yeah, something has shifted. A change in the wind. So there's something changed. Maybe feeling less inhibited by other people's expectations, your own expectations, laws, rules, routines. Maybe, for example, Aquarius, you're feeling like you've gotten a monkey off your back of some kind. Maybe you were responsible for somebody, or you were in a relationship and it has somehow freed you up from, you either left it or were no longer in a particular position or a role of responsibility, and things have shifted for you so that you can now resume your life. but more so because you've learned something from, you've gained a lot of life's lessons. You've gained a lot of insight from having been in a situation that maybe had kept you pretty much at a standstill, whether it's a relationship or responsibilities or a job or finances, whatever. Okay, let's find out through the tarot that something has changed, and now you can shed it, shed whatever it is, the worry, concern, responsibility, the relationship, the job, other people's expectations, maybe even your own. Yep. And you're ready to go. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah. Moving forward in a balanced energy. The Nine of Swords. Okay, the Nine of Swords might have been in the energy of things that kept you awake, kept you worried, kept you concerned, even so to the point where you took it to bed at night. You worried, like her head is in her hands there. You worried, and it just, all that worrying pretty much confirmed, because we're magnets to the universe. The universe is always trying to keep everything, all the energy in balance. That's what it does. It keeps things in balance. So if we worry about something, the universe is going to present you with all sorts of reasons and opportunities and events and circumstances that'll help keep you worried. So if you hate something, you'll always have other people, other things, whatever. You'll always show turnips will always show up on your dinner plate. I say turnips because I hate turnips. I don't like them. They taste terrible, but I know a lot of people do like them. But in any case, that's just trying a way to try and translate what I'm saying. So you always have a reason. Something's always going to present itself to you. Like if you feel like you've always attracted a certain type of person in your life as a love partner, because your relationships end pretty much the same way, and things just once each of you both get kind of settled and familiar with each other, then things kind of starts turning sour or on their head. And that just seems to go like that. It's perpetual. It just keeps going and on and on from one person, one relationship to another. That's because we are in that energy, and that's very, very, very complex and complicated, deep psychological type of human thinking, psyche thinking, that makes us continue to be the magnet, to continue to attract the same that we don't want. It's because there's something stuck in us from the past, from one relationship to another. Like they talk about taking baggage from one relationship to another. We continue to take the same, we add more baggage on from one relationship to another by saying, yep, that was the same kind of situation, same kind of relationship. I should have known better. You might blame yourself, you might blame the others too. But it's like you keep compounding. You could have been compounding this attraction by compounding, putting more baggage from one relationship. The bad, how things turned bad in that relationship, that's now another bag on top of your whole trolley of bags. People travel through airports with those trolleys and all their suitcases on it. Yeah. So any case, if things get heavier and they get more cumbersome for you, and it just keeps that perpetual cycle spinning, and we seem to not be able to get out from underneath it, because there's something deep within us, a deep, complex, complicated psyche of beliefs that have been impressed upon us since childhood. And it could be something like, if you're a female, you have issues with your father figure. Maybe didn't have a close relationship or something, or didn't have a relationship with your father, then with maybe having anger about that, we can push men away while we're trying to attract them. We attract them, but we're pulling on them. I mean, we push them, but we're pulling on them through wanting to have a relationship with a man. And vice versa, if it was a man, you might have had issues with your mother, you know, a difficult relationship with your mother. So anyways, there's something deep going on inside you that is that very block that kept you stuck in the that perpetual cycle of not being able to move past something that you do not want to really experience. Page of Biscuits, it's a page of Pentacles. Okay. Offer, 5 of Biscuits, 5 of Pentacles. Okay. We have the 3 of, boy, a lot of Pentacles here. 3 of Pentacles, Swords and Pentacles so far. Queen of Swords, another sword. King of Swords. Okay, usually when those two show up, especially side by side like that, look at it. She's given her, like, she's speaking her truth to her king, and what is he doing? He's looking forward, but he's kind of looking to the side, but the opposite side. He's not paying any attention to her. So that's a telltale sign that somebody may be wanting to speak their truth, but the other person is not willing to listen. Ace of Candles, it's Ace of Wands, it's the first wand. With the Hierophant, okay. The Star, okay, wish fulfilled. In the near future for you. 10 of Swords. 4 of Biscuits, 4 of Pentacles. The Tower, oh my God, the 3 of Swords, and then some peace. The peace, and then later on we've got the 4 of Candles, which is the 4 of Swords. Yeah. So peace, moving into, you know, celebration and possibly meeting a twin flame. But what's going on here is that you have been experiencing a great deal of concern, upset, anger possibly, but stuck in your head, big time stuck in your head, because this this new page in your life that you had, where you were somebody's you know, pentacle, you were somebody's treasure. Someone made an offer to become your treasure, but it quickly or soon thereafter turned sour. You know, feeling like you are on the outside looking in, that the relationship was not all that you expected it to be. It wasn't even close. It was like, it's like I said, when things were looking good, Aquarius, things seemed right. You both just clicked. And then when you became more acquainted with each other, more familiar, more comfortable with each other, possibly because you moved in together, or just were like you have, you know, committed to being committed to each other, that they knew they had you as their partner, and vice versa, right? And then they started to, now I would say that the two of you got married. Right here, the two of you were married. Yep, two of you are married. If not married, you were in such a relationship that you might as well have been married, because you own the house together, you have this, or you may not be owning the house together, because unless you're married, but the two of you are making mortgage payments together, or at least you're treating the property as being common property. You could be in common law, which is a Canadian term for people who live together but aren't married. But if they were to separate, they would divide up the assets, the property and everything equally, even though they're not married. But if you've got kids, you've got dogs, pets, other things, and car, boat, lake shore property, who knows, but you've got a lot going on between the two of you, that it is like you've been reaching out to people, you've been reaching out to others, possibly people that your friends at work, but you've been reaching out and talking to people, trying to figure out how to, like this could be you working with a counselor, or somebody who, a friend of course, or a family member, someone you felt you can confide in, that it's been difficult. It's been a difficult time for you lately with your person, because I think that they kind of stepped out on you with the Ten of Swords, and they put you in this, like you put yourself into this Queen of Swords energy, where you were more of a chatty person. Of course, you could be a man and the queen, and the woman and the king. So you'd be the chatty person who likes to, maybe rule the roost, or likes to have conversations, talk about this, talk about that, what you did during your day, what you and your friends talked about, all that sort of thing. But your person is kind of like, it goes in one ear and just as fast out the other ear. So you've always known that, but it's been getting to you, because you've got concerns now. You see, you've got questions about, she's holding her feather, which is her sword of truth. She's saying, look, I need to know the truth here. Are you messing around on me? Can I trust you? And he's going like, I'm not answering that. No, I'm not answering that. I'm the king here. I don't have to answer that. That's what they're thinking. And you're thinking, well, Ace of Wands, right? What do you think Ace of Wands represents, besides, well, it's all about its pleasure and desire, right? But it's the wand, right? And it could be that you have been seeing through the marriage that there's been more than just you in the mix. And all you want is to have a life with somebody that's balanced and healing, and a wish come true kind of relationship. So because and this could also be representing the divine, but you've been following the rules and doing what you need to do in order to make sure that your relationship is above board, and that you wouldn't be cheating on them. You wouldn't be stepping outside the lines of being transparent in your relationship, the actions that you take every day, and that sort of stuff. You have been following close to, dotting the I's and cross the T's throughout. But you feel as though you have been enlightened about somebody else being involved, so a third party, right? And finding out that yes, there has been a third party, or and a third party doesn't have to be, if this is a man, it doesn't have to be another man or woman, depending on, there's a lot of married couples where the husband or wife like to have relationships with both genders, so however it works for you. But if this is a man who's interested in women, then like I said, it could be a woman here, man here, You are finding out about how they have been using their wand to betray you. Okay? Using their wand to betray you. Now, if this is a woman, the wand is like the same. It's just smaller, right? It's a smaller wand without me having to say it. It's a smaller wand. So we got the Four of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Three of Swords with Temperance, healing and balance, finding healing and balance through all of this difficult energy. You've been hanging on to this relationship that you have either known about or suspected. Either way, you've known about and suspected, and for one reason or another of yours, which is like totally understandable, you have been holding on to the pain of what they've been doing in your marriage, in your relationship, a little bit too long, right? But totally understandable, especially if you two are very, 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 very entwined. Your lives are very, very entwined emotionally, socially, financially, maybe even through work and stuff like that. But definitely socially and familial and all this sort of stuff, that it's not that easy to start pulling things apart, because you have to start pulling things apart all at once or very quickly, one at a time. But usually when the Queen and the King of Swords show up like that, it means that they're on their way to divorce. They're in combat with each other. Like they're not on speaking terms, basically, or they're arguing a lot and saying things, like a lot of things being said between the two of you, but on their way to divorce is what usually when these two show up like that, especially side by side, on their way to divorce. And so for you, Aquarius, whether you're the man or the woman, your person is the one betraying you, all right? You're not the one betraying them. Okay, so you've been holding on to it because whatever your reasons are. Like I said, could be that there's just too much, it's just going to be too, especially if there's kids and pets and stuff like that. But the divine is saying this coming down. Your relationship is coming down because holding on to something that's no longer good for you is not part of your life path. It's a broken-hearted situation for you, and it's not fair to you. And you've really been holding yourself back as a result. You're holding yourself back from the peace and balance and the healing that you deserve to have, which is, this is what you want, is to have a happy relationship. These two people are getting married right here. You want to have a happy family relationship, love family relationship, life with someone under the same roof, right? Under the same roof. So you want that, but you are not going to get it with this person any longer. And you, for whatever one reason or another, you have been holding yourself back from being able to move forward. Well, it's time to move forward, because you have more insight because you've learned something. You've learned something. You've been able to evolve into the energy of, I love myself enough to say, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this right here. That I deserve better is what you're saying as an Empress, which is also a wife energy. I deserve better than how I've been treated. I am going to be clear. This is the energy that's causing this to happen, because you're cracking the whip and the broom, right? Cracking the whip and saying, I deserve better than this. This is not happening anymore. You've been, stepping out on me, and that's definitely not going to continue to go on, even though I have been trying to avoid it. I'm going to be cleaning things up with the broom, cracking the whip on your person, saying this, you know, I'm telling you right now that you and we're on our way to divorce court, because I'm just not going to put up with you anymore. Just not going to do it. And I'm sweeping you out of my life, kind of thing. Okay? And because this is what I want. And I realize now I'm not going to get that with you. So the change is afoot. Change in the wind. And that's a 12, which is the 3. You're communicating this. A change is afoot. And this is where I'm going. This is the energy I'm moving towards, because I'm not going to sit in this anymore. I've been sitting in it far too long, and it's time for me to heal this. Heal this and move forward in life, where I will be able to be with somebody who appreciates me and treats me properly and fairly, instead of in this kind of energy of sneaking around, fooling around, and I'm just ready to take the plunge and get the heck out of Dodge. You know, I've been sitting in this kind of wounded energy too long, but I know I still have life in me, that maybe after just a bit of a respite time of healing and finding balance, which is this one, finding balance, I'm going to get myself out of my own self-imposed prison, and I'm going to be getting into the energy of new life, of prosperity and abundance, good things, as someone who's committed to what's best for me, so that I can have this with my person. 10 of Cups. Have this with my new person. Okay? So, I mean, those cards came in very, very handy for the story. This is just your life moving forward. So you deserve this, because you realize that your person's been doing this and you're not getting this. The 4 of Wands energy with your person, because they're in the 7 of Swords energy. You deserve to be able to heal your ouch here, right? Heal your ouch and be in this kind of energy with a person that you deserve, they deserve you, kind of thing. You're ready to take a plunge, moving away from this. You're no longer going to hold back, because you know you've got a great new, you know that you have the opportunity to move forward in a very new chapter, new leg in your life of prosperity and abundance, good things, good things. You may be relocating to do it too, but you're going to be stepping into the energy of, I am about taking, living the reality of my dreams, that I want my wishes fulfilled, and that is, my wishes to fulfill this, to be in a relationship with somebody who treats me well and doesn't cheat. Queen of Pentacles, you want to be committed to that person. You want that person to commit to you. You're going to get yourself out of your own self-imposed prison. You're going to find that balance where you won't be breadcrumbed anymore, because they're giving it to somebody else and they only leave a little tiny bit for you. You're going to be as an equal give and take between you and your partner, because maybe this was, I don't remember, but you've been a wounded warrior for too long, but you still have the desire, the oomph to get up once you've had a respite time to really get through this and get over it, to the point where you start being so balanced, balanced and ready to be back on your feet again. Grabbing that 4th sword, because the 3 of Swords is these ones here. But there's a 4th sword that you grab when you get off the bed, when you're ready to take on life, living your truth, being happy, in other words. Because this is what's waiting for you, the 10 of Cups. With that, happily ever after here too. So guys, that's what we've got for you. It looks good in your future. This is your future. This is your near future, okay? It's going to be difficult. You're going to be, hashing it out with him. Trying to break up everything that the two of you built together. The Tower, right? So that's, this near future doesn't look so great, but it's the path that you have to take, of course, you have to take in order for you to start stepping on this path where you meet somebody, because you're ready. You're ready to meet somebody after a bit of a journey of moving through all of this first. So I hope that was helpful, Aquarius. Take care, be well, and we'll catch you again. Bye for now.